saying there that he thinks he's a better player today than he was years ago, which was arguably his best season so far since being a pro?
Absolutely not. Let me tell you something. The eye in the sky don't lie. And I listen to my eyes. And when I look at Dak Prescott as a quarterback, he has not improved. He has not evolved where you would expect him to being in year 3 now. I look at this offense. It's a stagnant offense. And I think Dak Prescott got exposed last year when Ezekiel Elliott had to serve that 6-game suspension. I think everybody knows what Dak Prescott is right now. They know what he's capable of. More importantly, they know what he's not capable of. When you have a player like Ezekiel Elliott in the backfield, you know that you're going to get a lot of favorable looks for the passing game. But he's a quarterback that can't take advantage of those opportunities. And we've seen it over and over again. Inaccurate throws, especially outside of the numbers, not being able to stretch the field with the vertical passing game. A lot of this is on Dak Prescott. This offense is really, really bad, and he's the reason why. They're getting the looks. I'm not saying that they have a lot of skill position players and a lot of talent around him, but there are some things that as a quarterback at this level, you got to be able to do. He's shown that he hadn't been able to consistently do that.
Okay, let's just go from some basics, because I do believe this. And I got cut after my 3rd year, and I had been a starter. I started 30. I had some extenuating circumstances that led to my dismissal.
Jenna learned about those for the first time yesterday.
Yeah, she just realized what crack was. And we're not talking about someone's backside.
That is not true.
But the truth of the matter is, when you're around the league, even with more information, I believe his body's in better shape. I believe he's been exposed as a starter. Now, we might not be seeing the work manifest itself on the field, Canty, but you can't say right now that he can't read the coverages better. You can't say right now that he doesn't understand how to win NFL games better. You can't say that he hadn't been able to work on the tools and everything that would make quarterbacks better. We just say when he's taking the test, he's just not showing those things on the test. Now, because for me, I think I'm totally opposite of you. I know that he's better because he's been exposed. Now, just because he's not executing outside, I still didn't believe the information inside of him would allow him to play better football than it did as a rookie. Do you understand my point?
I get what you're saying, yeah. If you're in it, you're going to become better because you're going to be more knowledgeable about the game. You have no choice. You spend every single day of your professional career working on your craft.
But
it's a results-oriented business.
Yes.
It's about production.
Yeah,
and I'm looking at this offense, and this offense was top half of the league last year. They're in the bottom 4th of the league now. I think it's the 26th total offense in the NFL. They're terrible on 3rd down. They're terrible in the red zone. They can't control time of possession. All the things that we saw from this offense in his rookie year, it's completely reverted to something that is the opposite of what we'd expect from those guys having more experience going into their 3rd seasons.
It sounds to me like what you two are saying is he might be better, but he hasn't improved. So, like, maybe he's more sophisticated. Maybe he does know more football. Maybe he does understand what he's seeing more.
It's impossible for him not to know more.
But he's not improving. He's not executing on that. And, which is the real killer for Dak, he hasn't even been able to maintain the level of play. His stats page looks like it's upside down, where year 3 is his worst, year 2 is in the middle, and year 1 is far away his best. I know a lot of guys say the biggest jump a player makes is between years 1 and 2. I think for a quarterback, it's usually years 2 and 3, because it's such a hard position to play. Like the jump of, if a guy's going to be a Pro Bowl level player, usually you see that in year 3. Dak's year 1 was his Pro Bowl level year. Year 3 is the year, man, I'm a spoiler alert, we're about to ask a question about 30 minutes on this show. Who'd you rather have this weekend, Blake Bortles or Dak Prescott? Like, that is not the direction you want to be going as a quarterback. But all the numbers say he was a disappointment last year, and he's worse in every statistical category this year. Like, that is, which is inexplicable as far as this goes. I know they don't, go ahead.
He's got less personnel to deal with. Like, just because we add a guy he's going to be a leader now, that don't mean that that role right there fits him. Like, I believe that some of the leadership, and people might think it's bad leadership, but what Des Bryant did in a certain way, the guys that he did lead on that Dallas Cowboy team, and Jason Witten's leadership, it removed the burden from Dak. Like, maybe he's not ready to take on that leadership. Now, we know that they are not better than the players that he had on the field in year 1 and year 2. So for me, it's like college. Man, everything is really based on, not them pop quizzes, everything's based on those 3 midterms and that final. And in the NFL, everything's going to be based on how do you do on Sunday. Great in practice on Wednesday, Thursday, but right now he's failing on the test, and the test in the NFL is Sunday action.
It is, and it's against the Jaguars. And wherever you think, Dak Prescott's playing right now, he's going to be on the field on Sunday. How does he deal with this defense that the Jaguars are going to present?
Well, I think the defense is going to deal with him because the Jacksonville Jaguars is the #1 defense in the NFL, and I don't anticipate anything with this offense improving this week. Now, listen, I know it sounds like I'm awfully critical of Dak Prescott, but in today's NFL, you need a quarterback that can be a playmaker in the passing game. The rules are set up to have success, to be able to have explosive plays. And when you don't have a quarterback that can take advantage of that, it's going to make it hard for you to win because most teams that have the aspirations, the expectations that the Dallas Cowboys came into the season with, they have a quarterback that can do that. Now, the Jacksonville Jaguars, Blake Bortles, it just depends on what week you're talking about, but they have a championship caliber defense, and they usually have a really strong running game, and Blake Bortles is a good complement to that when he's not turning the football all over. Dak Prescott hasn't been that for this team.
In this new NFL, it's going to be impossible to win with ball control. Like, you can try to have the rush leader, it's not going to help you win 12, 13 games in the NFL, and it doesn't equate to playoff success. So the game has changed, and Campy's right about that.
And the Jags turn every quarterback they've played this year into, statistically, a worse version than Blake Bortles. So, like, whatever Blake's numbers are, the quarterbacks against the Jags, their numbers across the board are worse. And by the way, they've played Pat Mahomes, they've played Eli Manning, they've played Tom Brady. So what do I expect from Dak? Man, Jags have allowed 3 passing touchdowns on the season, which seems like it's a made-up stat, but it's a real one. I expect Dak to look awful this weekend because really good quarterbacks look bad against this defense, and right now he's far from that.
All right, Chris, stick around. Coming up, who deserves the blame for the Giants' struggles? That's next month.
And I blame Canning.
That Jags defense, no, they got